Hey guys, I'm the NFL Addict and welcome back to the NFL Beans. The NFL Beans is my NFL news show where I spill the beans on what's going on around the NFL. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing, you saw it on the thumbnail and the title, it's a pretty big news. You've probably already heard about it before, but it is that Drew Brees has officially announced he is going to retire. It has been pretty obvious he's going to. I'm pretty sure everyone who, even remotely follows football was almost 100% sure that he was going to retire. He made it completely official, so he will not be in the NFL next year. However, he will be a studio analyst. He is joining NBC. He's becoming a studio analyst for Sunday Night Football, so we could see him pop up on Sunday Night Football, which will be pretty interesting to see, especially if the Saints are playing. And hopefully, it'd be kind of cool if he can become a part of that long term, so we can keep on seeing him around the NFL. Now, I just want to go ahead and say that this is by far the most information I've had to cover on a NFL Beans episode yet. I know it's only episode 40, so it's not that big of a deal, but it is by far. Like the other ones I've been saying, it's the first one with 2 pages. This one actually covers like a full 2 pages, just chock full of stuff. So I'm not going to go completely in depth in anything to try to, make this pretty short. But let's get started. So the Browns are signing safety John Johnson to a 3-year, $33 million deal. I like this because they've got some money to spend, and in my opinion, I feel like that if they are going to upgrade any position, I feel like their secondary is the one that needs the most work. You could argue possibly maybe the linebackers or something. I don't know. But in my opinion, I feel like their secondary is the one that needs the most work. Get a good safety like John Johnson in there, and they really want to cement. They won a playoff game last year. They definitely want to keep building on this to potentially become a contender for the championship, the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are signing offensive lineman Joe Thuney to a 5-year, $80 million contract. If you watched the Super Bowl, you saw it, and I've been seeing it all year, and that is that the Chiefs' offensive line is pretty bad. We saw obviously in the Super Bowl, he was all running behind the line, and their offensive line has been pretty bad all year. Getting another offensive lineman on there who's pretty good will definitely help in that, especially one that's only going to cost you, how much is this costing them? $16 million a year, which is, not that much money. All right, now the Patriots made a lot of moves. The Patriots are signing linebacker Matt Judon to a 4-year, $56 million deal. They are signing defensive back Jalen Mills, formerly on the Eagles, to a 4-year, $24 million deal. And they are signing former Titans tight end Jonnu Smith to a 4-year, $50 million deal. So they had a lot of cap to spend. I think they were one of the top teams, and they are unloading. Their defense was already really good. That defensive line is now going to get buffed up even more. They were kind of being carried by their secondary. Now the defensive line is even better. They're giving Cam Newton, who they just re-signed, some extra weapon with Jonnu Smith. He is a really good tight end. Is definitely going to help possibly be their number 1 weapon next year. We don't know who they're going to sign or draft, and there's also Edelman and N'Keal Harry on there. I definitely think these are some pretty good moves as we're seeing, this organization, which is a pretty good organization these past couple of years. Obviously, they won a bunch of Super Bowls, but I'm talking about, signing players and dealing with all that. They've been a pretty good organization with doing that, and I think they're doing what they need to do. They're buffing up that defense because they know they are, even in this next year, no matter what they do, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to have to be a very defensive team. So buffing up that defense is definitely going to help, and also getting a really good weapon like Jonnu Smith to help Cam Newton off. They have a pretty awful offense right now, especially with weapons for Cam Newton. So I'm getting Jonnu Smith on there to definitely become a really good option for him is a good idea. The Packers are re-signing running back Aaron Jones to a 4-year, $48 million deal. A lot of people really thought that he was going to be franchise tagged by the Packers. He is one of the best running backs in the league. I don't think anyone's really saying that he's the best, but he has a really good year next year, and then all of a sudden he's in that conversation. Last year was a really good year for him. He kept it going on this year, and they've just been, relying on him to do a lot of good stuff. And I was pretty surprised they didn't franchise tag him, and now they got him down for another 4 years, and I like that. The Texans have traded with the Dolphins. It's straight up the Texans are getting linebacker Benardrick McKinney from the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are receiving linebacker Shaq Lawson from the Texans. The rest of this, I'm not going to go, well, let's just keep going. The 49ers are re-signing cornerback Jason Barrett to a 1-year, $6 million deal. That defense is pretty good. They want to keep it up there. The Lions are re-signing their leading defensive end, Romeo Okwara, to a 3-year, $39 million deal. Again, one of their best players on that team. Not talked about as much as you should be, but one of their better players. Yeah, they got him locked down for another 3 years. Pretty good. The Steelers are signing their general manager, Kevin Colbert, to a 1-year extension. I mean, I don't see a reason for them not to. I'm not too learned about that whole front office situation for every team. I mean, that's not my expertise. I'm more into players, and I know obviously there's a really good head coach. I know a lot about the head coaches and the players, and sometimes the owners, but that's about it. General managers and all that crap, unless you're like I'm a fan of your team, I don't really know that much about it. The Buccaneers are re-signing defensive end Shaquille Barrett to a 4-year, $72 million deal. He was a force on that defense last year. They'll definitely be happy to be getting him back. And it looks like the Buccaneers are going to be spending a lot of their money. I mean, obviously with Chris Godwin and now Shaquille Barrett and Tom Brady, even there, it looks like they're going to be spending a lot of their money trying to keep that same team. And this is the vibe I'm getting from them, is that they want to not necessarily. I mean, obviously they just won the Super Bowl. They want to keep that same team. They like what they have and they want to keep it. Obviously they want to build upon it, but they're going to spend a lot of money trying to get a lot of extensions and trying to get a lot of players locked down for long-term contracts. Try to keep this team the same as long as they can. I mean, they extended Tom Brady until 2022. They're keeping Shaquille Barrett around until. I think it will be 2024. They are ready to roll. The Ravens are signing guard Kevin Zeitler to a 3-year, $22 million deal. Last episode, we talked about how he was released from the Giants. In this episode, he's already been picked up by the Ravens, another team that's been having offensive line troubles. And it's been kind of been saved by the fact that Lamar Jackson is basically, he's a running back, basically. The 49ers are re-signing fullback Kyle Juszczyk, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name, to a 5-year, $27 million deal. If you wonder why that's so little money, that's almost no money. It's because fullbacks don't get paid, and that's for a good reason. They're mainly just there to block and run it in at the very end of the game. Not at the end of the game. Run it in on the 1-yard line. And yeah, he's he's one of the best fullbacks in the league right now. He's not talked about that much because no one gives a crap about fullbacks. So yeah, they locked him down for another 5 years, so they don't really have to worry about, the fullback position. The Bears are signing defensive end Mario Edwards to a 3-year, $12 million deal, trying to get that defense pumping again, I guess. The Chargers have released cornerback Casey Hayward. This saves them $10 million. And the Texans are signing. Sorry, we got. I don't know why I said and. The Texans are signing linebacker Christian Kirksey to a 1-year, $5 million deal. And the Bills are re-signing tackle Darrell Williams to a 3-year, $28 million deal. When I said we had a lot of stuff, we had a lot of stuff. And now I could have gone in depth with all this stuff. I could have gone Texans want to keep that. I don't know. I could have said a lot of stuff, but my goal for this is I eventually want it to be kind of thing where if you don't sit around and look at all the news, you could just, eventually when I actually get a camera and I just use my phone and I'm sitting at a desk or whatever, and eventually it's better, you can be like, hey, let's just go watch the NFL Beans video, catch up on what's been going on, and then go back to my life. And I want these to be pretty quick. We had a lot of stuff to go over, but getting it done in 9 minutes, in my opinion, is a win. This has been the NFL Beans episode number 40. I hope to see you back in episode number 41. Until then, goodbye. See ya.